Good afternoon and welcome to Have a Chat. I'm Audrey Lynch with my co-stars Veronique Arsenault and Judy Loge.
Hello.
We've got another great show lined up for you today. We're actually going to have one of our guests start off sitting with us for the quick chat portion, and we're going to get right in because we have a full show, lots of guests, so they're not going to want to miss a thing.
God love him, he doesn't know what he's in for.
No. We will say we will say hi to Brendan Clancy and Brendan Clancy, and we're going to get started with how we usually start our show, which is the quote of the day, and Judy's up.
Yeah, we do a positive quote every week.
Okay, great.
Kickstart the show in the right way. So my quote for today is, there are only 2 days in the year that nothing can be done. One is called yesterday, and the other is called tomorrow. So today is the right day to love, believe, do, and mostly live. And that's by the Dalai Lama.
Isn't that beautiful?
Well,
It
it's
is.
true, right?
Yep. It's so true.
Can't do anything about yesterday, and you can't do what you intend to do tomorrow necessarily, so do it for the moment.
Yeah.
That's right. That's exactly it.
That's just it. A few other things we want to talk about with our quick chat portion. The Napan Fair was this past
success.
weekend.
It was
Huge.
wild. It was, I
Right?
went to the breakfast on Saturday morning, and it was packed.
Go
And of
on.
course, all run by volunteers again.
Yes.
Which, always astounds me when you get to see so many people donating their time and their talents and their efforts and everything to
Hard work?
It is,
Yeah.
So breakfast was fantastic.
The weather was good one full day, or 2 days they had sunshine.
I don't think it kept the numbers back that
Not too
much.
much,
It really, like, people who love it,
Yeah.
and they're true.
Fairs.
Yes, exactly. That's just it.
We use that.
They had a new
Successful.
event yesterday. I didn't get to catch it and run over to see that. Was a truck pull.
Yeah.
They had a big truck
Well,
pull.
they've had
that I
some
heard
neat
that was-
stuff. Like, I love the tractor races and the lawnmower races.
And the
all
oxen
that.
pull.
I love that stuff.
All the horse
Yeah.
pulls, everything. That's
Yeah.
always drawn me.
You love that too,
stuff.
Brendan?
It's a big reason why I moved back to Miramichi. Just
Yeah.
that kind
All
of
that
thing.
stuff going on.
Yeah, I missed that. It just I lived in a big city for so long. In a
Being
different
part of that's
country.
something.
And you just you appreciate. If you're some people leave and they're happy to never come back.
I
But
know.
I've always had such a positive feeling about the Miramichi that.
We're happy you did.
Napping, all those fairs, everything, and you know what I mean. The
Yes.
Arts Festival, those
Our
things
little
are just part of
Scottish
my
fair.
life, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, Scottish fair. Then today's Acadian Day.
Lex-
It is
Yes,
Acadian.
today's
Bonjour.
Acadian.
Excellent.
Yes.
My French is terrible. But, I love the Acadian
Nah.
people.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
such a part of New Brunswick.
That's
eh?
right. Yeah, that's right.
So
Exactly.
welcome to our show.
Thank you very much.
Nice
Yes.
you could come, Brendan.
We want to mention that nominations are still open
yes.
for the James M. Hill Alumni Association
Wall of Fame.
Wall of Fame.
Yep.
Yes, exactly. And the deadline is the 31st of this month, so that's August. And I just want to say that you can actually get a form, the nomination form, through email. So you just have to email them, which is jmhalumniwalloffame@gmail.com. So you definitely want to get out there, and if you know of anybody, because the criteria actually is written right here, 3 short things. Alumni who have been a role model for current James M. Hill Memorial High School students, alumni who have distinguished themselves and show great leadership at the local, provincial, national, and international level
Wow.
through their chosen careers or vocations, alumni who have made distinguished contributions to James M. Hill Memorial High School and or society through their work or donation of time.
Well, we're all proud alumni, aren't we?
I think
Yeah.
I have a
Yes.
name already. I do
Yes.
have somebody I want to nominate
too.
as you
Yeah.
speak, Audrey.
So,
I've
yeah,
thought of a few
definitely.
people.
Do you?
Probably would.
Get the
Yeah. Well, when you
nominations
hear
in.
of something like that that's going on, automatically names pop in
Yeah.
your head.
Worthy, worthy
definitely.
candidates
Yeah,
for sure.
so definitely email.
I
Get your
know, and
form.
it's funny. A friend of mine emailed me the nomination form this morning, and I said I have to get on that.
Yes, me
and I
too.
keep putting it off. But yeah, I have somebody that I'm going to
See
nominate.
my quote?
Yes, I know.
Yeah,
I
don't
know.
put off.
Today,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
today.
Today.
I know
You
that was
can't do
meant-
it yesterday,
I
and
know.
you
can't
you
fix
could
yesterday,
possibly
you
do
can't
it
do it.
tomorrow,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
today you can definitely
Today's
get it
the day.
done.
It's true.
For sure.
It's true.
So we want to welcome Brendan.
Mr. Casadilla.
Yes.
Quesada.
Quesada, yeah. You
Yes.
make quesadillas though.
I know
Yes.
you do.
Yeah.
I have
So
it on my
you
mind.
They're very good. I have sampled.
If you haven't heard, because there's a number of different businesses that open
Yep.
in the area, so we've been very, very excited, and we're thrilled to have you on today to talk about the new, because you're the new owner and operator of Quesada's, along with your wife,
That's right.
and it's a Mexican kind of feel.
Yeah, it's a
right?
I mean, I don't. The atmosphere isn't what you would traditionally see. We don't have sombreros or anything like that. But yeah, it's Mexican flair with a bit of a modern twist. I think if you go in the restaurant, it's very You know what I mean? It's very bright and like it doesn't. It's not too clouded or crowded with all this Mexican memorabilia.
Clean and,
Very
and
clean
welcoming,
and
like
utilitarian.
very.
I think.
No, I don't mean clean as in sanitation. I mean it looks pristine when you walk in.
Yeah.
It's
When
a
you
really
walk
nice,
in, I'm
bright
kind of proud of
environment.
myself. I had a lot of trouble, but I did the renovations right from the beginning.
Good for
I was
you.
the contractor. Subbed everything out. It was a lot of heartache, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears to get it
Right,
done.
labor of love.
And I made a lot of mistakes on the way because I'm not a journeyman carpenter, but I did get, I got it done. We got a very high rating from the franchise.
That's what I was going to ask. This is a franchise.
It is a
right? It's
franchise
chain?
out of Toronto. It's a Canadian franchise.
Okay.
As I said, I'm a bit of a nationalist. I'm a Miramichier. I'm a
Yep.
Brunswicker.
Want to keep
I'm a
it Canadian.
I lived 12 years abroad in South Korea, and I think before it's funny, as Canada, we're so huge, and we're known by our regions, and I was always Irish Canadian, the Irish first, and when I moved away, I really got a better sense of my Canadianness.
Because you moved where?
I was in South Korea.
South Korea.
You were teaching there.
Yeah, I taught English and I also taught Taekwondo.
Met your
In the
beautiful wife there, right?
In the birthplace of Taekwondo, so that was wonderful. Met my wife there.
Beautiful
and,
girl.
We got married soon after, about a year and a half after I moved there. I realized I wasn't going to get any better than her. And anyways, we had very next year, almost a year to the day. We were married on the 17th of July, and then my birthday was on the 20th, and the 22nd we had my first boy, Michael.
Beautiful.
Yeah, who I named after a local entrepreneur.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, my first boss.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's cool.
and then after that we had my second boy, Conan. 3 years after Mikey, and we decided to move back to Miramichi.
I'm so happy you did.
Yeah.
So you've been back to Miramichi how long?
It's about 3 years, a little over 3 years. Yeah.
Okay.
So
So what spawned this idea?
well,
Right?
Miramichi's been hit hard. I did well over in Korea. I had my own education business, and being able to do Taekwondo and speak English was good for me because I could teach English classes. So I had, I was always busy and making good money. And the Korean education system's quite harsh. If you're very good academically, you have to stick with academics. If you're good academically and athletically, you have to make a choice. And I knew that was going to happen with my kids, and I wanted my kids to enjoy an athletic career, however good it
in
was
whatever
gonna
way
be.
they could.
And they're both great little athletes. Mikey
Great.
just came. We were in Fredericton. They won their third baseball AAA tournament. The Miramichi Twins. They're
Right.
doing great. Yeah.
Oh, that's proud
Yeah, and my
moment.
youngest boy is he's a great little ball player too,
Gosh.
Because they're how old now? The boys
8
are.
and 11.
Yeah.
Mikey just
Oh,
got
okay.
8 and
Adorable.
11, yeah. And they're active, healthy, and that shows this side of Miramichi that I've always loved. We've got. I know we've got a lot of unhealthy issues, drugs, alcohol, things like that, but we've got a wonderful, athletics tradition. We've got academic tradition, people who have gone on to be doctors
We
and
certainly
lawyers.
have,
and
and athletes, and
athletes
high caliber
and
athletes.
high
that-
so that's the beautiful thing about Miramichi. There's a real balance there.
And people know and love each other in general.
Oh, for sure.
Right? It's that
And-
community
Yeah.
sense of, hi,
Yeah,
how are you on the street? And we can always have that camaraderie.
If you're really hurting, someone's going to help you.
That's
if
right.
If you're looking
That's
for
right.
help, and you
Reach
need
out.
it, someone's going to reach out. and
No,
they're
if
gonna
you're
help
pulled
you.
over on the side of the road here,
Yeah.
compared to anywhere else,
Yeah.
like you don't just have one person stopping. You've got like half the neighborhood
right.
Yeah, we're a tight
trying to help you.
community.
Yeah.
So when you decided that you wanted to open a restaurant or a food place, what really drew you to Quesada? Like, how was that your first place to go?
Well, it wasn't my first place. I think I was thinking of.
We're about to find out everything you scrapped.
No. It wasn't that. First of all, it was, do I go into restaurants?
Yep.
Yes.
Part of the thing is that if there are children listening, education is key. I had my BA and I taught for years, but I missed the window of getting perhaps my BEd or a secondary degree.
Okay.
And so I thought, well, I'm pretty versatile. I've done a lot of different things. I worked my way through university in cooking and trades.
Talented.
Okay.
I knew that the oil boom wasn't going to happen anymore. So I wasn't going to rely on money out west. So when I was moving home, I was examining different options within trades, and I did see the Quesada early on, and I liked it. I liked the model. It was Mexican, which we don't have.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, and we don't need another pizza shop. We've got plenty of great pizza shops.
That's right.
Yeah.
We've got
have
plenty of great.
Chinese.
We've got Chinese.
We need the variety. You're right. We do need
Variety.
the variety.
You know, there. It also is. It's 100% healthy. I would put myself up against any restaurant as far as health on this
Okay.
river,
Nice.
and
Well,
we've got some.
now,
I've been
that's a
inspired.
challenge.
Well, I mean, I'll tell you. Like, I mean, if anything, like Pita Pit and Subway are two things that I always love those
Yes.
brands.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean. And they've got a healthy, a real healthy menu. Every sauce that we make every morning, it's fresh.
Nice.
And we don't. There's nothing comes packaged and bagged as far as
it's made from scratch?
Everything's made from
Very
scratch.
healthy.
Fresh ingredients.
We go through like probably 8 or 9 boxes of tomatoes a week.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
And we
We're
roast
not
our.
talking the little box we get.
Yeah.
No.
You
We're
shop in
talking
the-
a 25-pound case of tomatoes.
Wow.
So you do burritos and
we do
tacos
burritos.
and quesadillas.
Yeah, we do a burrito bowl. We're waiting for the right piece of equipment so we can actually do the taco, a taco salad where you put
I
it in
love those.
the tortilla bowl.
Oh,
And
yes.
Yummy.
you can
Yep.
you have your salad with there, but that still hasn't arrived. Obviously, in a new restaurant. This is it's the first of the franchise in Atlantic Canada.
That's
I did read that.
awesome.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that's something we're quite proud of. And but like back to your question is that like I like the fact that it was different. We didn't have that product around here. I like the fact that it was growing. If you look on, you do some research about the franchise, that they're growing quite quickly year after year. It's a Canadian franchise. Another
Yes.
thing that I think is a
Big draw.
A big draw, yeah. The president actually turns out to be one Tom O'Neill, who grew up in Miramichi.
Okay.
And moved- yeah, another coincidence.
Wow.
Yes,
Oh, for goodness
exactly, yeah.
sakes.
So yeah, there was a lot of factors that I think, but the health factor, I think we need to make that change. I mean, I know
Yeah.
there's times when I've had trouble with my own diet, and I just thought, like this is the kind of thing we need to promote on Miramichi, in Miramichi, and something that is going to promote a healthy lifestyle and
Let's talk about the food.
Let's.
She's eating there.
I
have.
I've seen her eat
I
more
went,
than
yeah,
once.
I went when it first opened because I love to try something
She
new
wanted
right
to
away.
be first.
I did. I wasn't the first day. I gave you a break because I thought, I remember that first day when we opened and how chaotic it was. But anyway, we went the next day, and I thought, well, I'll get a large burrito.
Because that was in the middle. Because really, there's a
Right,
regular,
yes.
and then there's a big.
Right, and not knowing what I was doing, right? So anyway, off we went, and the service was fantastic. The portion size was
Yeah.
massive. Like it was
Family size.
It was. 4 of us could have eaten it, but it was the flavor was so great. And I'm not a real spicy food kind of person, but the flavor was fantastic. I really enjoyed it.
I love spice, but it doesn't always like me, so do I have options?
Oh, of course, yeah. I mean, a lot of people are scared of Mexican. They're scared of different foods. Like, I mean, people
they think
they can
jalapenos
be conservative. We do have jalapenos, but we also have a mild salsa, which is just made with morita peppers. We have 4 or 5 different types of peppers that we
You're
bring
making me
in there
hungry,
roasted.
Brendan.
I know.
So the dried morita pepper is not a real spicy pepper. We use for our spicy sauce the Delarbro pepper. Now that thing will kick you right in the head.
Get that, Judy. Get
I will not challenge myself.
No.
wanna have
We've got a
video
mild
camera
medium
going for
salsa.
that one.
You were similar to the more modern trend of quick service restaurants where you choose the items. So
Yes,
it's
yes.
all there in front of you, right?
Okay.
Very nice.
Like something like cilantro. Some people don't want to try it. I love it.
So do I.
Yeah, that's the first thing you go
Yeah, I
for.
do too.
You've got your cilantro. We've got corn. We have what's called a salsa fresca. It's tomatoes with a little bit of cilantro and white onions.
Yummy.
We've got, again, like I said, the hot, medium, and mild salsa. The medium style is salsa is made with tomatilla. It's like it's a relative of the tomato, but it's green. It never goes
So
red.
healthy for you.
Yeah, and
go
it's,
on.
yeah, it's got a real nice
You
flavor.
have to go.
Okay.
So
well, I have
Brendan-
a. No, you go right ahead,
I
Judy.
was just going to say, now that you're established, there was
Yes.
a lot, like you said, of hard work went into this. So you had to look at your signage, your interior, exterior signage, your equipment, your furniture for your place. Like you're up. It's a big job.
It's
Was it overwhelming
huge.
at times?
It still is overwhelming.
Okay.
I'll admit, it's the toughest thing I've ever done. I think, Veronique, you'll
I feel your
attest
pain.
to what
Yeah,
it's.
I feel your pain.
You know, like every little mistake, you're scared is going to come back to haunt you. I've had more sleepless nights in the past probably 4 months, 3-4 months than I have, that I can remember. I'm not doing this for me. I'm not doing it for my wife, and we're doing this for my children.
Yeah,
Isn't that-
exactly.
You know, we are. We're doing it so we can afford hockey school.
Provide a good life.
You know,
life for your
you
family.
know, we can get their education taken care of down the road, and I know, like, my parents are old school, and they were great, but when you were graduated, I think they wanted to give me luggage just to say see you later.
That's the gift I got. That was the gift I got. That's not funny.
Here's a kid egg, enjoy life. But no, I mean, I think that my wife is South Korean, she's Asian, and they do. They have a different focus on the family, and it's to nurture your children from birth to adolescence to young adulthood to full adulthood.
Good.
And I think that that's one thing, is that, like, if I can pay for their education and get them through university debt free,
So smart.
that
I
is
think
tough.
it's amazing
That
that,
wise.
because I recently opened a business too, and my children are a little bit older, for them to see us go through that.
Yeah.
Right? Like they weren't born into it.
No.
So they're going to learn
How to
That's
earn
right.
their way through
exactly.
hard work.
It's hard
they
work.
get to see the blood, the sweat, the tears, and the sleepless nights that
Yeah.
went through getting to that point.
To a positive end.
Exactly. That's just
Yeah,
it.
that's
So
right.
that makes it
Again,
great.
now the shift has gone from me doing the construction aspect.
Yeah.
And Miso, she did the training in Toronto, so she's running the restaurant.
Okay.
I was always good in the kitchen, and which was surprising me. When I did get back there, my speed came back quite quickly, and so I've been doing the kitchen part and all the prep, all the cooking, and I'm moving out to the front now to get faster on the line, because I'm terrible on the line. I still.
It'll come
just
now.
learning.
Oh, it is, but I mean,
Great.
I look at some of our staff that have come along. Wow, they're really moving along, and they're getting the food out, and it
They're
is.
catching
Like at
catching
first
on
it was slow.
the way it flows.
So that's where my weakness is I've got to get out on the line and start moving things a little bit quicker.
Brendan, tell people where you are exactly
We're
for those
Yes.
who are traveling.
734
Yep,
King
before
George
we get it.
Highway.
734 King
734
George
King
Highway.
George Highway.
So you want to get out and check out new Quesadas if you have a Mexican flair at all.
Yeah, well, it's
Thank
not just
you
a Mexican
so much
flair.
for
Yeah,
joining.
It's just a flavored flair.
Thanks so
Healthy
much
food.
for joining us
Yeah,
today.
well, thanks for having
we
me.
have
I
more
really
great
appreciate it.
Have a Chat coming up, so don't go away. We have Kevin Brawn joining us to talk to us a little bit about Lord Beaverbrook Historical Park. Welcome back to Have a Chat. We've been having a great show. We were just chatting with Brendan Clancy, who is the owner and operator of the new Quesada's restaurant, which you're going to want to check out. Veronique's already been
Loved it.
there.
Oh, you smell like
it.
a casada. Oh, the casada.
I know, it's
He
funny
doesn't
when
need
Exactly.
cologne.
When he
just
walked
does.
in, I hugged him and I said, "Oh my God, you smell like a
like
burrito."
hugging a
It's
burrito.
So good.
I want to take a bite, but that would
I
look
know.
inappropriate.
No.
Yes,
Try
exactly.
not to bite the gas.
No.
No, try not
So
to.
we will
It's
behave
frowned
ourselves.
upon, I'm afraid.
Well, we are wild though.
Poor Kevin, I feel bad. Kevin Brawn is joining us up next. He is here to talk to us. You're going to scare him away thinking that he's going to be bitten.
I promise we're kind.
He is here to talk to us a little bit about being an actor and working for the Lord Beaverbrook Historical Park. Welcome,
So
Kevin.
cool that you do that.
Good to be here.
Interesting.
Tell us about you.
Well, my name's Kevin Brawn. I'm 16 and I go to school at JMH. I'm going to grade 10 this semester.
Oh wow.
You seem much
semester.
older. Much wiser. Doesn't he look more mature
Please
than
wear
16?
it.
One of the first groups thought it was like 18, 19.
I would think that.
Oh,
Well,
you're
he's in a
kidding.
suit.
No,
though.
no, but
He is
still,
in a
I
suit,
find
yeah.
him very much more older looking than 16.
Okay.
And I'm in the drama program at my school.
Yes, yes.
Oh, and it's such a fantastic program at James M. Hill.
Yeah.
You have Mr. Gopi and Mr. Terrio.
Love them.
And
They're,
they are
Yes,
superb
yeah.
at
they're
what they do.
really devoted to it too.
They certainly are.
Yeah.
So then tell us, Lord Beaverbrook, you're in your suit and you're in your role. How did this all take off?
Well, I was actually in line to get my yearbook when one of the teachers at Jameson Hill, Jean McDonald,
Yes.
whose daughter was actually my crew chief,
Right, she was
For the year,
Kristen,
yeah.
correct?
she approached me and said, "Hey, we have this job, or like an acting job, and we'd like if you could come and try out because So I was like, okay, well, I need a summer job anyway. So
Right.
I come and
Yeah, it's a paying gig.
I went and I talked a little bit and I said part of the script and they liked it and they hired me.
So you're normally on crew, but this was an acting job. So
Yeah.
was that a little bit of a switch for you, or
Yeah,
had you acted before?
No, it was a new experience.
Wow.
Wow.
It was
Sink or swim.
From behind the
Jump
scene
right
to
in.
being in front, on your own. You're acting it there as one person, so there's no backup for you.
I didn't find it too hard though.
So tell us a little bit about the role then, and how long you've been doing that.
Well, it started around June or July. I think was the first one where we had a bus of 40 people come in to do that. That was the first one, and it's every Sunday from 2 to 4 p.m.
Okay.
And
At the Lord Beaverbrook house.
yeah, at 518 King George Highway.
All right.
Good, yeah.
Let's have a quesadilla. Go see him.
Yeah,
it's, all the
really.
same,
Yeah.
it's all the
That's a
same
good
So
stretch.
you're all
That's a
handy
good
to
idea.
each other.
So
Okay.
2 to 4 on Sundays.
Yep.
You
and,
perform.
Yeah, after the monologue that I do, basically like portraying Lord Beaverbrook in like World War II. He's in the production, production of war, I think, like mainly airplanes.
Okay.
Yes.
So you get to see him talk and like he explains a little bit about what he's doing,
Yeah.
and he gets calls from different people and he calls different people, and then after that you finish the tour if you were to go in, and then we go down and have tea and cookies.
Oh, that's so nice. And that
Fantastic.
building's such a warm.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
building history in that is something else.
Because it's a
Right.
museum.
Yes,
correct?
it's
I find it,
quite amazing.
Very interesting, actually.
I'm
It
sure.
certainly is.
I'm
There's,
sure.
there's a lot with them.
How long did you have to prepare for your monologue?
I usually try to practice every day or second day.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I try to go through it and try to be able to do every single one of like the pages, just off by memory if I forgot.
Mm-hmm.
Not forgot, but like if I can see the page.
Yes.
But couldn't really do that. Like I still look at the script a lot when
Okay.
doing it, but yeah,
It's coming.
Yeah, I'd practice every day for
I'm
it.
sure. I'm sure. And how are you enjoying being that person that's leading that and getting to interact with the audience and stuff?
Yeah, I find it's a lot of fun, and even for a job, right? It's fun.
Great summer job.
Yeah, couldn't ask for a better one.
Very cool.
So now is this something that you're going to want to take now going back into school at James M. Hill with the drama club? You want to expand on this, I'm guessing?
Yeah, well, depends. Like we have 2 plays that we do every year. It's,
Big ones,
Yeah, the
big
fall
musicals.
one and the spring ones. Yeah, we usually do musicals. Dopey is really into musicals.
He is.
I wouldn't do the Lion King. 'Cause we're doing the Lion King next, but
Wow.
I don't think I'm going to audition for that. But the spring one, I might, depending on the play. But I'm usually just in crew, and I really
Yes.
enjoy crew. So
Now, I've done a lot of acting, stage acting, as you have. So to pump yourself up, you have to do this performance every Sunday. So you don't want it to be mundane, and you don't want it to be, you want to just maybe up your game a little bit. Do you find it's hard to get that, what am I going to say? Like, we have to do a show live every week. Sometimes we feel like curling up and having a little nap, but we can't because we're on live TV.
That's right.
Yeah.
So you yourself have a different audience. You may have had a sleepless night. Do you have to try to change it up every week to be your best?
not really. I mean, I do a practice run through before the show.
Before.
And then usually I just try to stay in character just a little bit, and then I go through it, and I'm pretty much on spot to what I should do.
Yes.
Wonderful. Do you have any little tidbits about Lord Beaverbrook that we might not know?
Yeah.
Max
well,
Aiken.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's his name. Well, he purchased his childhood home and made it into the first library in Miramichi,
Yes.
and it was called the Manse Library.
Oh yes, of course.
That's
Wow.
right.
Yeah.
And he actually sent thousands of dollars worth of books from Britain for the library.
Okay.
He wrote about 11 books himself. He was an author of many of them, Success and Men in
Yeah.
Power. And
The building that I own, that was my restaurant in downtown Miramichi in Chatham, actually was where he did his articling as a lawyer.
Yes,
With
somebody
with,
did tell
with,
me that.
with Tweedy, who
Yeah,
later
yeah.
went on to become premier, and R.B. Bennett, who later went on to become
Right.
prime minister.
Yes.
All in my little building.
Yes,
say.
and we
Yeah.
have Tweedy Street cut
That's-
just
yes,
down
that's
from
right.
ours. So
Yeah.
a lot of history there.
To add on to the library, though, this isn't really about him, but Louise Manny was the first librarian there, and she was also founder of the Folks Festival.
That's
Oh,
right.
neat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Manning.
And she gathered songs and poems to be like from the area to be played and published on the radio and
Yes.
as books, and it was all funded by Lord Beaverbrook. Yeah.
Interesting.
And the new academy is going to be
Max
named
Aiken
Max-
Academy.
Yeah.
Were you proud to hear that? The new school?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess.
Well, it's just kind of in timing with what you're doing that they had named
Yeah.
that school so recently.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah, you see his name everywhere, and I don't think a lot of people my age really know who he is.
No, they wouldn't. No.
Like-
Well, that's great that you're bringing him to life then.
Yeah. He wasn't really always easy to get along, though, I heard.
Oh, really?
But he did
Do
admire.
tell.
Time to pain in the
I like
butt.
this. I like this line.
We're
of
gonna get
questioning.
real gossipy
Now that
here.
he's gone, poor man, we can talk about
He
him.
wasn't really easy to get along with most of the, well, some of the time. But he did admire people who wanted to make something of themselves,
Yes.
or wanted to give back to the community, or produce something that would help other people.
Okay.
Yeah.
He
So-
was born in Ontario.
Yeah, Maple, Ontario.
Maple, Ontario.
He moved here when he was 18 months old.
Oh.
Yeah. And that house, he lived there with all of his siblings and his
Were there
mother.
10
and
of them?
father.
Wasn't he the fifth child of 10?
Yeah, I think.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, he had a big family.
Yeah.
He was the fifth one.
I think he moved out of there when he was either 16 or 18. I can't really remember.
Yeah.
But he donated various buildings throughout New Brunswick, and he funded a lot of scholarships, public and private.
Yes.
So education was really important to him.
Yeah, he loved to read and he loved mathematics. Although he wouldn't really get any awards for his attendance. Yeah,
Whereas you would, right?
I'm gonna say I'm a little bit like Lord Beaverbrook in that way. When I was young.
he loved to be outside.
Yeah, outdoorsman.
Yeah. We actually had we had a visitor whose father was a recipient for 2 years of a Beaverbrook scholarship that was funded by him. Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
And you must see a lot of that actually with the people that are coming to visit. They're coming because they're really interested, but they must also have some stories as to why they wanted to come.
Yeah, we do have some visitors who were alive then, like and like during World War II. Like
Right.
we had one lady come in and she was there and she.
Well, he died
she
in
remembers them.
1964.
So it
So
isn't
people-
I was around.
Yeah.
I didn't know him personally,
Yeah.
but I was a toddler.
It wasn't that long ago.
But no, 1879 to 1964.
I didn't
was
realize
his
he
birth.
lived that long.
Yeah, he did. And he started Cement Canada in 1909. He formed Cement Canada
Wow.
and the Steel Company of Canada in 1910. So by the time he was 30, he was a millionaire. Lord Beaverbrook.
Wow.
Yeah, he was a young, happening
Very-
guy
yeah,
and
very
very political.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
I
he
mean,
was.
Yeah.
there he was,
Well, yeah.
right-hand man to Winston Churchill, basically.
Yeah.
The Battle of Britain. No, really, they
Yeah.
won largely due
Yeah,
to
yeah.
his
He
input
was
and
he was
his
good friends with Churchill. and,
Churchill.
whenever like World War II hit and he needed someone to be in the production of like planes and production, Winston just called him and
They were
He was-
buds.
yeah.
Isn't
They
that
were.
amazing?
No, he was great.
Yeah.
he actually he never took a salary and neither did any of his staff.
Never took a salary.
Yeah.
Really? Wow. So how long? So when does the play end? Like when are you done this production?
I think when school starts.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's all through the summer and
Do we have to book tickets in advance, or can we just show up at the door with money, or how does it work?
Money's good.
Money's
Yeah,
all
you're
right.
one
well
to be paid.
you need you need to call in advance.
Okay.
So what do we call? Who do we call?
I guess the house it would be 622
Yep.
5572.
I want to see you. I've been traveling this summer myself, and I haven't had a chance, but I want to see you in action.
Yeah, it's very nice. And the tour, you get the tour with the two.
Can you give us like a line or two from your monologue? Like just get in your position as Lord Beaverbrook and take on his stance and
I guess I could say the first
a
line or two.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me take a drink.
Yes.
Yeah, well, it's water too, so
You gotta get in your mode.
You got to get in it.
Yeah.
pump yourself up. Now you're Lord Beaverbrook.
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't believe you could have chosen a worse time to visit. As they say at home, I'm busier than a cow with her calf right at the moment. That said, I know you've come a good distance to see me, so I'll explain the situation to you as best I can.
Look at you. Look at
Wow.
you. The transformation was instantaneous. I love it.
was fantastic.
One thing I really found is he takes really long pauses in between
He does.
like sentences.
Okay.
So he'd be like, hello, and then he'd take like 1 or 2 second pause instead of, just talking like this and take a pause, like a very short pause.
So he thought about everything he said by the sounds
Yeah,
of things.
yeah.
He was very measured
Yeah.
by the sounds of things.
Did you ever-
Unlike Trump.
Yeah, don't start.
Do you really want to go to Trump?
No, we're going to get back
We got
to
lots to
Beaverbrook.
say about
Like
Trump.
he doesn't have any pauses, but yes.
You should pause.
Did you read the book that Ann Chisholm and Mike Davey wrote on Beaverbrook, his biography?
I
1994?
I haven't, no.
I have it at home.
I think that'd be really interesting.
I have it and I'll loan it to you, and then I'd like to read it and then go see you.
Yes.
Or vice versa.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's not that long ago, the 1994
No.
book.
Yeah, most of the tea and the cookies with Lord Beaverbrook after the monologue, that's not scripted at all.
No?
So to stay in character, that's kind of hard.
So okay, let's be
That
clear
would be
about
the
that
part.
part.
Talk about the cookies.
Yeah, let's be clear about
Yeah.
that part because I don't think people would understand. So you greet them, and then they go about the tour, and then they get to have tea and cookies with you, with Lord Beaverbrook,
Yeah.
and you speak to them as if you're still
Yeah.
In character.
I'm Lord Beaverbrook when I'm
Oh, how
I'm speaking.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Do they pick your brain about his past?
They
They try.
they asked some questions like I could answer some I couldn't.
Well, of
Yeah, of
course,
course.
not. He was
Yeah.
a very well-rounded man with political, like he had newspapers.
One of
and,
the
You'd have to
questions
be doing it for years to know all
Yeah,
of it,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
One of the questions that was asked was like you know, when he was like super younger, like still living in the house, like how was he, you know? I wouldn't really know that. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I know he sold newspapers in Newcastle
Yeah,
when he was a boy.
When he
Did
was
he
13,
really?
he started his own
Yeah.
Yes,
newspaper.
he did.
And he started with that, and that never really left him
No.
because he had ties in I think Fredericton, St. John with newspapers.
Oh, very big time with
and
newspapers.
when he was in Britain, actually, he started gathering like old newspapers.
Yes.
And would like turn them into profitable newspapers. Yeah, so old
Oh,
and
he was something.
rundown.
He was a happening kind of man.
Yeah.
And they have the bus. Do they still have it in the park in
Yes.
Castle Town Square? And then they have this bronze statue.
Well, the
in-
bust
Yes.
has his ashes in it.
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
Yeah,
Is that-
that was one of his last requests was to be
Yes.
put here. So he always
Really?
That's
he always
right.
called himself a Miramichier, even though he traveled a lot. And
Oh, I didn't know
Miramichi.
that. I
And
didn't
then
know
they
that.
have in the Officers Square in Fredericton, they have his bronze statue
Yes,
of Lord
yeah.
Beaverbrook, and that's
Yeah.
been there for a long, long time
Yeah.
too. So he's a legendary kind of guy. Now they named the school after him.
Yeah.
The new
Yeah.
school that's coming up.
Well, look at all you taught us here today, isn't it? I didn't know a lot of that stuff.
yeah,
And like I said, I own a building that he was in.
Yep, that he
But I-
used.
yeah, but I didn't know a lot about
As an actor, like I said, I do that. Are there moments where you kind of freeze? Do you ever have those moments? That's an awful feeling.
no, there was actually this one time.
Oh, it's brutal.
I go to the door and I call for the guide, right,
Mm-hmm.
to come in and get me this person, right.
Yes.
I actually switched the names my first time doing it
Okay.
by mistake. So the Kristen Trevor, she's the guide.
Yeah.
She really saved me there.
Good.
She's like, would you also like me to call this person? And I was,
In addition to
That's called
Yeah.
quick thinking.
Yeah, I
And
was
you
like,
have
oh
to
my
learn how to
God.
ad lib sometimes too.
yeah.
yeah.
You know, but that's a terrible moment, stage fright.
Yeah, it
It's
is
just,
a
you're just
little
having
bit.
to freeze, and
Yeah.
it's like, what the
Well,
hell?
and it happens.
Well,
it happens to
I didn't even
everybody.
really freeze. I switched the names by mistake.
Right. She
It happens
saved
to
you.
everybody.
I was freaking out behind the door because nobody could see. I was like,
So you have no prompter, but you have someone there that's kind of watching to see if you slip up at all.
well, not really. Like she's the guide, and she comes
Yeah.
in, and
Yeah.
like she gives the tour to the people,
Right.
and then she kind of gets into like the acting too because I call for the guy, and she's like, yes, sir, and
Yes.
Okay.
she's like, get me, this person.
She's like your assistant to
yeah,
the whole.
yeah, kind of, yeah.
Is your setting the actual living room in the home, or how does that work? Like your background?
Well, the room, which would probably be his parents' bedroom
Yes.
when it was living, that's kind of turned into his office.
Ah.
So he has like his desk and his podium because they always like to stand usually when he's working or giving a speech or anything like that. So he's there and I'm behind the podium, and they come in and they sit down, and I'm kind of working, and I'm like, oh well, I'm gonna tell you guys a little bit about what I'm doing here because you traveled so far. And
Yes.
Wonderful.
You're going to have memories for years to come of having done this, You're going to look back and say, when I was 16, I was Lord Beaverbrook, and that's going to be a very epic moment.
well, I mean, if I wouldn't have took the job, I wouldn't have been here.
That's
I
right.
know.
That's
You guys,
true.
And Jean
No,
McDonald, the English
you would have
teacher,
never
had
made
faith
it to
in
have
you.
a chat.
I know.
We're international, Everybody
It's
can
true.
watch this on
You're right.
YouTube.
You're right. We are that
We
fabulous.
will know.
Some about his name though, because Lord Beaverbrook. Well, the Lord, he was knighted by King George V in 1917.
Mm-hmm.
And there's actually two stories about how he got his name.
Okay.
So the first one is, first, he wanted to be called Lord Miramichi, but his friend Manny Louise, the librarian, stated that not a lot of people in Britain or Europe would be able to pronounce his name.
Right.
So to be able to, they wouldn't be able to pronounce it correctly. So the first version is, if he couldn't pick Lord Miramichi, he wanted to be called Lord Beaverbrook after a small like town that he relaxed and fished at near Chatham, like the town of Chatham.
Yes.
And the second one, he simply put his finger on the map and he landed on Lord Beaverbrook.
Wow.
And we have the arena, and we have so
Yeah.
much named after him, like in
Yeah.
Fredericton and all around.
I know,
we
it's
did
very-
exactly.
wonderful.
Pretty famous man.
What do you guys think? What version would you go for? Like, what do you
Lord
think?
Miramichi.
Yeah,
No, like the two versions
the two
of his
stories
name,
of how
his
it
name.
chose. Yeah, I don't know.
I like
Put
Beaverbrook.
his finger on it, and there it is.
I like
Yeah,
Lord
probably.
Beaverbrook.
Yeah, exactly. We want to say thank you so much,
Yes.
Kevin, for joining us today and
Lord,
telling us all,
my lord.
Lord Beaverbrook, for joining us today and telling us all about your summer job. And
We'll
we
have to
wish
go.
you definitely
Yeah.
check it out.
We'll go,
There's
"Yay,
only a few-
Kevin!"
There's only a few more weeks left of summer before you go back to school and get that all started. And we wish you the best of luck. To our viewers, you can check us out on Facebook. You want to go to the Lord Beaverbrook and check that out. Monologues every Sunday afternoon from 2 to 4. We have more great Have a Chat coming up. Another guest, Kim Hotton. Don't go away.
Thank you.
Hi, and welcome back to Have a Chat. We've been having a great show with a couple of great guests, and we're up next with our third great
Very
guest
full
today.
show.
Very full.
Very full show.
Jam-packed.
Yeah.
Have a Chat always is.
Yes.
And up next, we want to welcome Kim Hotton to the show.
Nice to have you, Kim.
Thank you.
Yes.
Finally got you here. We've been chasing
Yes.
you for a while.
I tried to run away from you.
Busy girl.
So you're the executive director of Volunteer Miramichi, and you're
Right.
here to talk to us a little bit about that. But first, tell us about you.
Me. I'm the
In case somebody might not know, little old Miramichi. We all pretty much know each other, but there
Yeah.
might be someone out there.
I'm the executive director of Volunteer Miramichi. I have been in that position for about 3.5 years. And I'm
Miramichi?
from Miramichi, always been in Miramichi, and don't
Good.
plan on leaving.
We're lucky to keep you.
Yeah.
Tell us about the job, what it entails as you go in Monday morning at 9 o'clock. What does the day involve?
For the most part, the Volunteer Miramichi helps other agencies or groups and committees in the city to recruit volunteers for their events and for help in their offices and such. And for promotion too, we have a lovely front window on the square downtown Newcastle, so it's a great place to promote. And we do a few activities throughout the year, one being our annual volunteer recognition.
That was terrific.
Event.
It was a
That
beautiful
was a
night.
wonderful
It
event.
was
So
a
we did
beautiful
that for the first time
Yes.
in April, which was National Volunteer Week, and
Right.
we plan on doing that every April from here on in.
Good,
so
good.
it went over really well. We were really pleased with the results, and
Big
obviously
crowd.
the winners. And
Yes, for anything you
Yes.
want.
Well,
Definitely.
it was such an honor because
Yes.
there. I mean, and I talk about it all the time that there are so many volunteers in Miramichi, and they do so
It would
much.
be hard to pick just a few,
Yes.
really.
It was
'cause there's-
difficult. It was a difficult venture.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And it will be again.
And it was, I mean, all the winners are fabulous,
Yes.
but that Travis was.
Oh, wasn't he?
It was so emotional.
He stole the show.
Adorable.
He stole
And
the
he's
show.
still going strong. He
And
just-
his title was, he was a
Youth.
recipient of the Youth Leader Award, a youth volunteer.
Yeah. Yeah. So
It was
so
too
yeah.
cute.
So the National Volunteer Week is April 15th to 22nd this year. So we will be having the event that week. So of course, anybody that wants to nominate recipients, that would be awesome. I've already had a couple of emails.
I'm sure.
So
That's cool.
well, so-
But we all volunteer quite a bit. But Kim, I see you everywhere.
Yes, you are there.
Wait, you really give back to the city as well. Like it's amazing what you're out there doing and trying to support.
There's lots of people like that,
Yeah.
and I think, and we're a lot together too. So, because I'm also involved in the Jameson Hill Alumni Committee, I'm the vice president for that. And,
Okay, you are.
and you guys were plugging the
Yeah.
award ceremony coming
Yeah.
up. I
Wall
thought
of
that
Fame.
was
I
fantastic.
know. That's going to be awesome.
Volunteer Miramichi and the Jameson Hill alumni are both involved in Change Miramichi,
Yes.
which opened the Escape Miramichi room,
Yes.
which is having tremendous success.
Tell us about
I
that
see
escape
that.
room.
I'm like, I'm looking at, and I'm like, wait a minute, you're gonna lock
My
me
mom
in a
wants
We
room?
need to go to the escape room. I need that.
She found the flyer that we got at the Canada Day Parade, and she's like, "When can we go?" I'm like, "Yeah, soon."
Well, I want to know about it.
Yeah, so we lock you in a room,
I'm claustrophobic, so I'm not going.
I had a
No.
lady there not too long ago
No.
that came, and I happened to
No.
be there at the time, and she was claustrophobic.
I am too.
But the key is there if you need to get out. The key is there for you to get out. You can exit at any time.
I think maybe that might be. We'll have to
I
take
just
the video camera with us.
Think about it being locked in a room
What
and
are
I
the video
panic.
cameras that
Yeah,
you put
the
on
GoPro?
your the GoPro?
Yeah.
And we'll put it on Judy's head.
Yeah.
And go
Okay,
from
so
there.
you're locked in a
and
room.
It's dimly lit.
Dimly lit. That's even more fun.
Yeah. So
I'm thinking maybe we don't bring Judy.
Don't.
We have a GoPro, by the way. I've just been.
This is awesome.
So there's a series of puzzles and things that you have to solve to get from step to step, and then at the end you find the key to get out the door.
Okay.
And if you can do it in 60 minutes or less, you win.
It's a challenge.
It's a challenge.
Well, I just saw the Boulevard Pub crew yesterday. I think it was yesterday. They got out in time. There's a few I've seen that haven't managed to get out in that 60 minutes.
No.
Yeah.
But I did see the crew from the Boulevard Pub got out.
It's crazy the amount of groups that come, and at the end they do not want to know the rest. They're coming back, and we've had a group that came in, didn't escape, and it was open for the next session, so they just went right back in.
Really?
Okay, they were really
So-
up for the challenge.
Yeah, people are up
So
for
there's
the
a
challenge.
fee.
It's
There's
$20 per
person to go.
Yeah, we
Okay.
have 2 rooms. One is the Miramichi Murder Mystery Room, so you're put in the room as an investigator trying to solve a mystery.
I could do that.
So you have to not only get out, you have to solve
the mystery.
Oh, like that's like that board game. What was that board game? Clue.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
love that game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Played it
I love
endlessly
this.
as a child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this money's all going back into your Volunteer Miramichi to support
it's a
ongoing
yeah.
costs.
Well, we have other organizations involved in it, so it's being split
That's
between
great.
everybody. But
Yeah.
we're having great success. So
You're having fun at your job.
yeah,
It's one thing to have a job and get paid, but it's another thing to love
Yeah,
what you're doing.
to truly
Yes.
enjoy
Right?
what you're
Yeah.
doing and giving
Yeah.
back and stuff like
It's
that. There's-
true.
The rewards are endless.
yeah.
And you're not alone. You're the executive director, but you have staff as well.
Well, I have some staff because we have contracts through social development where we hire family support workers to work in the community with different clients, and I also have a residential facility that I operate. So there's that plus the volunteer stuff. So
You have a lot of volunteers coming forward, Kim.
it's growing slowly. I have I set up a volunteer portal when I first started the position, so it's just an email list of volunteers that if an agency or committee or group is having an event and they're looking for volunteers, they can contact me and I can put it out to my portal. And like for instance, I'm working closely with the air show this coming weekend, so I assisted them with some group volunteerism and some single volunteers and such. So
It's amazing though in the city because most of our events are that happen in the region are run completely by volunteers.
Absolutely.
True. Like, and you know, it's very rare that you'll find someone who's actually paid to put on these events.
Yeah.
No,
So
exactly.
it's quite amazing that in this day and age we are still seeing that significant number of people coming forward, and so, but we're always looking for more, right?
absolutely.
So how do we get a hold
You
of
can
you?
never have too many.
Yeah.
No.
622-6565 is our office number. I also just like to say if there's any agencies or groups or committees that don't utilize us, please feel free to jump on. And I'm not a miracle worker, but I certainly have given back some volunteers to some of the agencies over the last few years. So give us a call. And
You're seeing lots of young people coming forward, more and more teenagers.
still a lot of seniors.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
Depending on what they're actually
Depending.
volunteering
Yeah.
for.
Yeah, we're
time,
also a member of Volunteer Canada. So what they're trying to do now is family volunteering and work volunteering.
That's a nice
Like,
idea.
yeah.
I like that
So-
concept.
So so I had somebody sign up for a committed volunteers position that she was going to go back to school and she wanted something in her field to kind of get some experience, but her son would be out of school come June.
Yes.
So I'm like, but he could probably go. So
Yeah.
she was
Yes.
like, really? And I'm like, absolutely,
Wow.
set it up and you guys can both go.
I think
Oh,
it's so important for young people and
Yeah.
anybody actually to volunteer. I always say to my children, get out there and do things and know what it is to give back to your community because
Exactly.
it's always rewarding. And they always find it a fun event. Like
Oh, yeah.
when they clean up or do something and come back and say, I helped out, they feel great.
But
Absolutely.
I also find, since I came home 10 years ago, I've had some real once-in-a-lifetime opportunities and experiences that I've had through my volunteering that I couldn't have had any other way, or in any other place,
Yeah.
really. And that's why I love it so much is that not only do I feel fantastic because I've been able to, share some of my gifts and my time, but I've had great experiences.
It's so
as
much
well.
fun. When we MC events,
Yes.
you're up there maybe for hours at a time,
Yes.
and you're not getting paid, and they'll say, we're paying you, it's a job. No, it's fun for me.
That's right.
It's
Yeah.
enjoyable. I don't
Yeah.
take money for something I enjoy doing.
No,
You
exactly.
know, if it's giving back and helping out a cause, I'm there.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely.
So what are your top qualities you would seek in a volunteer? You get those ones that are just there because they think they should do something. What do you see as your ideal?
Well, the thing is that the volunteer has to decide what their qualities are, and you have to work from that and decide what kind of time commitment you can give and that kind of stuff. And the same thing is your dislikes. Like, if you don't like animals, then I'm not going to send you to the SPCA, right? You know, if you don't like children, I'm not going to send you to a local daycare,
Right, yeah.
type of thing. So they need to come in with to know what they like.
But you want people with integrity and that
Oh,
hard work ethic is what I'm
absolutely.
trying to say. You get people that are
Yeah,
there,
but
they
at
think they
the
should
s-
volunteer, but they're kind of lazy. So
But-
you say, no, you've got to go for
But
it
at
and work hard.
the same time, they have to remember that volunteering at an agency or with a group, it's the same thing as the people that are getting paid.
It's true.
It's absolutely the same. You're treated the same as you should be.
Yes.
Right? And if you don't show up, they're going to call you and ask you where you are, and you might get fired.
To be honest. Yeah.
You can be fired from being involved.
Exactly.
No, but you want someone energetic, you want someone
Absolutely.
creative, you
Yeah.
want somebody trustworthy. There's a whole lot of things that go into volunteering.
For sure.
The qualities
Yeah.
in people.
Yeah.
But sometimes people are a little quieter, and they might
Yeah.
their
Yeah.
great quality maybe reading
That's
to
Or
Or
other
sitting, or
children.
even just
Yeah.
sitting with somebody
Yeah,
because they're
exactly.
not very. So
Each to
someone
their
who
own.
wants to, someone who really has it in them to want to volunteer, I feel like they don't necessarily have to be bubbly and outgoing and everything as this our lovely persona we have right here. You know what I mean? You can be the quiet and shy
Yeah,
type
sure
and
you
still
can.
volunteer. It would just be in a different area and
Different
a different
setting.
field, different setting altogether.
Well, and volunteering is great too for the younger people that are having some self-esteem issues and confidence issues.
Yeah.
It's a great booster.
I was
No.
thinking more when we were doing, for example, where my thought was going was a dragon boat.
Oh, of course.
The people
Yes.
that were out there were just like machines. Like
Oh,
you
yeah.
had to
Yeah.
really, those volunteers driven.
Yeah.
Go, 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 go,
For
go,
sure,
go, go.
you're
So
right.
that's kind
Yeah.
of where I would,
Yeah,
my
no, you're
mindset
right.
Yeah,
was.
you don't have to
you're
be
right.
chasing your
No,
volunteer to
no.
be getting done what
For a big
you asked them
event,
to
you
do.
need the
Right.
manpower
Yeah.
to be very independent
True.
and a gung-ho attitude.
Yeah.
But I know where you're coming
Yes.
from, too.
But you know what's a great fit though for you and to our younger people that are out there, to our high school students, and as they're thinking about going off to college and university, the universities and colleges
They
and all the programs
look
now,
at
they're
that.
looking
Absolutely.
for that.
Certainly
They're
are.
looking for that extracurricular.
Yeah.
Not only that they want you to be a well-rounded student and athletics or whatever, but they're also looking for that give back to your
And
community.
in a
Absolutely.
huge way, Veronique, you're right. Like it's right at the top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They really demand that their
That's
students
right.
have that almost.
We've worked closely too with Sarah Gillis's class at NBCC.
Yes.
They've been fantastic over the last few years.
Yeah.
And I'm certified in a PREB certification program.
What is that?
Which,
What's that?
which is a certification for your volunteer activity, and I'll give it out to the younger people so they can put it in their portfolios.
Oh, wow.
It's, I should have
Okay.
brought one. They're really nice,
Huh.
done on nice paper, and it gives their hours and what they volunteer for and their qualities and their
Oh,
skills.
fantastic.
Like a certificate that they
Yes,
can use
absolutely.
to present to their colleges and universities.
Absolutely.
But later on, it does matter how
It
much you
certainly
give back.
does.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
They
For sure.
say, well, they
You're
were
right.
great in academics and they were great, da 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 da. But,
Yeah.
but when they say they gave of their time,
Yeah.
that just shows
Yeah.
that they're very much above and beyond the classroom.
Well, they're well
or-
rounded, right?
Yes, they are.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're
exactly.
right.
Because
Yeah.
I remember Teresa when she was looking at universities and different things like that, and she was all about the academics, and she was all into the sports and
Sports.
everything else like that. And she's like, "How am I going to squeeze in volunteer?" She knew that that would be part of it. That
Yeah.
would really, and she did. She managed to one day a week for a couple of hours with
Yeah.
Big Brothers Big Sisters, and did that throughout the school year. And it has. I've seen it change her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And with the field that she was going into, which was psychology
Well,
and
and
stuff
it's
like that,
a great
it just really,
networking for the younger
That's
people,
just it,
like
too.
to figure out
Yeah.
where you want to go and what you
So
want
when
to
you
be.
come back,
and-
when you're done university, and it's time to look for a career, and you've already met all these people in
You have
these
a
different
niche,
areas,
maybe.
you already have
But
your
I-
foot in the door.
And I just want to go back to your point that you said, it's just like you're treated the same as the people who work there. I think what happens often is that people don't understand how important volunteers are. When you volunteer, that organization, event, or whatever is counting on you.
Absolutely.
Counting on
That
you to
Can't
do
just
that.
get up in the morning and say, I don't
Yeah.
feel like
Yeah.
going.
Yeah.
Just
That-
because you're not getting paid.
Exactly. That
right?
it is
Yeah.
still so important. And
That's
that,
right.
and to Judy's point, Dragon Boat was a prime example.
Yeah, you have to be
because it was
reliable.
very exciting and very fun at Dragon Boat. but we would have, lists and lists of people that had volunteered, and because it was such a nice day out, they wanted to go participate, and then they wouldn't show up, and there'd be the 12 of us, and we had so many volunteers that did show up, but there'd be the 12 of us at 5 a.m. trying to make, put the fencing up.
Very
right. So the volunteers are
intense.
Crucial. That if you do volunteer, to show up.
Yeah, reliability is a huge component
Yeah,
of being a volunteer.
Yeah, I agree.
Did you volunteer as a youth yourself, Kim?
I did for some things,
Yes.
not as much as I probably should have.
But you're probably doing it now outside of your job.
Yes.
You're not only running this Volunteer Miramichi, but you're outside the box doing things in the community.
I belong to a couple of committees, like boards.
A couple.
If someone's stuck, I'll go. Sometimes the volunteer portal things come through, and I'm like, well, I'll do that.
That one sounds interesting.
Yeah, I'll take that.
What's your favorite part of your job?
The socialization.
Okay.
Yeah, I like
I'm
being
with you on
out
that
and
one.
about.
Yeah.
I love that too.
And the events. It's such a great way to be at the event as a volunteer, because you're involved and you're participating, but maybe you're not really in the dragon boat or whatever is going on, but you're there and you're surrounded by everything.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
Yeah,
sometimes it's the best way to experience the event.
Yeah. And I found that myself, right? When
You
I
know?
first moved home, that was my way of getting to know people again.
Exactly.
Because most of my friends were gone when I first moved home. They had all moved away and everything. And so, I was trying to rebuild my social sphere.
Yes.
And that was a perfect way to do it.
Jump in and meet everybody you can.
Exactly.
And I drag my husband along sometimes.
Oh, do you?
Kicking. But
Kicking.
We all
no,
do
he's
that.
a good sport.
We all
We
do a
do.
little bit.
You're right.
So what's upcoming? You have your escape room. Is there anything after that you're working on as a project?
We're hoping to keep the escape room going continually, so that's on our radar. I just applied for the city to raise our flag for National Volunteer Week, so that's new
wonderful.
for us.
Nice.
Yeah.
So hopefully that will happen.
Yes.
And I know Christmas is coming. Sorry.
Stop.
But 2017's coming too, and we need to form another committee for the nominations for the volunteer award ceremony.
Right.
So all that is on our agenda, and we're always looking for other ways to raise money. And actually, we just applied for our charitable status with the CRA
Great.
last week. So fingers crossed.
No, that's good to get that number.
So you have a Facebook page?
We have a Facebook page.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
We have a
how to find-
website.
and a website
Yeah.
to be able to find
Yeah.
you. Okay.
Volunteer Miramichi?
Miramichi Volunteer, I think it is.
Okay.
Yeah, .cra.com. I have both of them. So,
Okay.
yeah.
So is there anything as we speak going on right now that you have volunteers at? Like any event
Right.
going on right now, Acadia Day or like anything?
For the volunteer, mainly the air show.
The air show.
The air
Next
show.
weekend.
Yes, and that's coming
Saturday
up
and Sunday.
this weekend
Hard to
here, right in
believe it's here.
Miramichi.
It's
Yeah.
exciting.
That's
Yeah,
just it, 'cause it was here last
we're
year.
still
There's lots
looking
of-
for a couple of volunteers to do some driving for the participants. You only need a driver's license. Cars are provided. So if anybody's listening that wants to do some driving, basically
Yes.
from the site to their hotel rooms and back
Okay.
or whatever. So
Fantastic.
That's
Definitely.
going to be a big show.
I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and the
Excited.
weather looks good.
And
It
the weather
does.
looks good for this weekend, definitely, for the air
Thankfully.
show. So, yeah, if you want to check out Miramichi Volunteer on Facebook, they have a Facebook page, and they also have a website that you can check them out if you have any ideas or have a little bit of time and you would like to help them out and volunteer. Whether it's this event coming up or something in the future. Again, we want to say thank you to Kim
Thanks,
and
Kim.
our other guests that were here today for joining us on Have a Chat. We will see you again next week for another great show here in Miramichi. We'll see you again. Thanks for joining us with Have a Chat.